Hello, welcome to Vokèra's London Colney Training Centre. I'm David Ischak, a technical trainer. In this short video, we'll introduce you to the basic user functions on our Unica MAX combination boiler. This is our Rec 10 interface on the Unica MAX boiler. Presently, the boiler's in standby. We have 4 sections that we can interrogate current boiler situation and make changes to the boiler. These buttons here will move from segment to segment. If you want to interrogate a segment, for example menu, press the top left to go in. We can then make adjustments, whatever. Bottom left to come out, and that would be the same on any of the modes. I'll highlight the menu option, enter, and we have some settings. These are the user settings. Press OK to enter and see the options. We can set the time and date. We can set the unit to automatically adjust for daylight saving time. We can select languages. Now if English isn't the user's first language, there are some options: English, Italian and Polish. And we can also adjust how long the backlight stays on for. I'll return to the main display by pressing the back button. To select state, you can interrogate that menu option, enter. We have 2 options, boiler, let's look at that first, enter. We can select whether the boiler's in standby or off, hot water only, summer, hot water and heating, winter time, so your hot water's delivered and your central heating water's delivered. Once you've set the option, press back to return to the main display. If we select set, enter, we get offered the option of heating, hot water and preheating. What this means is here, if we enter heating, we can select the maximum temperature the user wants for the radiator system or underfloor system. We would recommend starting at around 55 to exploit the efficiency the boiler offers. If you're not warm enough at 55, then obviously you can increase that heating flow temperature. That will affect the temperature of the radiators. We'll return with the back button on screen. We can look at the hot water temperature, enter. Now we can set the maximum hot water temperature you wish the boiler to produce. And the maximum is 60, but obviously you can drop it to a more comfortable temperature if you wish. Press back to return to the previous screen, and now we have an option for preheating. Preheating as it's delivered from the factory, let's enter. 0 means it's disabled, there's no preheating. Changing it to 1 means the boiler will preheat the hot water section and keep itself warm 24/7. It will fire for possibly 5 to 7 seconds every half an hour, just to keep itself warm, to give hot water as quickly as possible to the point of delivery, the tap. If we select option 2, it's touch and go preheat. What will happen then is there will be no continual preheat, but before the customer uses domestic hot water, a very brief opening and closing of any hot tap in the building, the boiler will preheat for 1 cycle only, and then it won't preheat again until another brief opening and closing of a hot tap. I'm going to take it back to default, and we'll OK that, confirm the change, press back to come back to the main display. If we select information or info, enter, the boiler will, by using these 2 buttons here, we can scroll through the information the boiler can provide. This actually is the flow temperature to the heating system, the return temperature of heating water from the heating system to the boiler, the domestic hot water temperature, the flue temperature, how many litres a minute are flowing through the boiler for the hot tap, fan speed. Yes, some of this is not of particular interest to the user, but can be of very much interest to the installer. Exhaust sensor hours. That's a handy reminder. When that number is 25, it means the boiler has served 2,500 hours in true condensing mode. What that means is after 2,500 hours, there'll be a little reminder on the display. It means next service, full strip down and service. Main set zone. This controller can be set as a room thermostat. It's located in the boiler, so it's not being used as a room thermostat. If it was being used as a room thermostat, the temperature that was being desired would be printed in there. We can ignore that setting. System pressure, curve choice. Now this is of interest to the installer or service engineer. It is simply a combustion curve and of no use or interest to the end user. Back to the main screen. Our software does evolve. There may be subtle differences between the display options on your Unica MAX boiler and our Rec 10 unit here at our training centre. Incidentally, the Rec 10 control, a very similar version, was included on our earlier Evolve combination boiler, so much of what I've just demonstrated will be relevant to the Evolve boiler also. I hope this information has been useful. Thank you very much.